𝐉𝐨𝐢𝐧 Thompson says his is not a case of addiction. Rather, social media has become a part of everyday life. How often would you say you're on that phone throughout the day?
I would say, if I can give you a percentage, it'd probably be about 70% of the day on my phone.
70%? Wow.
Says his is not a case of addiction. Rather, social media has become a part of everyday life. How often would you say you're on that phone throughout the day? I would say, if I can give you a percentage, it'd probably be about 70% of the day on my phone. 70%? Wow. That's a lot. Can anybody guess? Here's another question. Here's a question. Can anyone guess when this, it's a news story, when this video was made? Just make a guess. Just make a guess. You might be surprised. What about you? What percentage of the day do you spend on your phone? Me, too much. Yeah. But I'm on my computer and my phone like all the time. Not good. It's really not good. And many of you said that in your LTA. Oh, damn, I hate it. But yeah, me too. I need to. But how? I need to. Anyway, says his. So once again, so this is grammatically weird, right? Says his. Yeah, that's right. He says his. She said his. Says his. Says his is not a case of addiction. So get that rhythm. Get that rhythm right. Says his is not a case of addiction. Says his is not a case of addiction. Rather, and I agree, her pronunciation is weird, almost like brother. Yeah, my recommendation to you for the pronunciation, rather. Stick with rather. Get that short A, stretch it out. Rather, social media has become a part of everyday life. And she says the word of. I like the way she said it. She connected it, the phrase all together. Has become a part of everyday life. Has become a part of everyday life. And now she speaks pretty fast. It's not too bad. How often would you say, it's perfect grammar. Do you say is fine, but would you say is actually perfect. How often would you say you're on that phone? How often would you say you're on that phone throughout the day? So this, everybody, this is a sentence that I'm sure if you read the sentence, it's easy. I mean, it's not bad, right? But if you made a mistake in your dictation, this is a sentence you should practice, okay? Seriously, this is one that I want you to practice. His is not a case of addiction, not a common style. Rather, social media, it's good, but don't worry about it. This type of sentence right here, this is a typical, not difficult sentence. Don't make mistakes. But that's why we're here, to find our mistakes. So this type of sentence, I want you to practice. Now, Shamik, his pronunciation is tough. He's a kid, okay? And kids generally, I know he's like 20, whatever, 18, 19, 20. But kids generally have bad, lazy pronunciation, and he does. Typical. He says, I would say, if I can give you a percentage, if I can get, it's really tough, so don't worry. But he says, if I can give you a percentage knocks out the T. If I can give you a percentage, it would. Okay, perfect grammar. It'd probably be about 70% of the day on my phone. 70% of the day on my phone. It'd probably be 77%. Okay? Don't repeat after me. So I'm going to say it clean. We're going to practice clean. But then when you listen to Shamik, see if you can hear it. This is really tough, okay? Really tough. And she says 70%. Wow. Whoa. All right. I'm going to say it nice and clean, and then listen to the original. Are you ready? Here we go. Shamik Thompson, a college student, says his cell phone usage. His cell phone. Now, we're missing the noun. And the noun, it could be several things, but his cell phone usage, his cell phone usage is not a case of addiction. He's not addicted. It's not addiction. Rather, instead of rather, we can use this expression. On the contrary, social media has become a part of everyday life. Social media is a part of everyday life. If you have no social media, you have no life. It's a part of life. Just like eating lunch, eating breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Hopefully getting some exercise, doing some studying, talking to friends, social media. It's a part of life. That's what 𝐉𝐨 Thompson says. Back in 2012. And now in 2021, absolutely. For most people. Except Alex Moslov. I'm so jealous. But Alex, you use YouTube. That's social media. How often would you say you're on that phone throughout the day? The reporter asks 𝐉𝐨. And he says, I would say, I'm not sure. If I can give you a percentage of my day, 100% of my day, what percentage am I on my phone? It would probably be about 70% of the day on my phone. 70%? Wow. These are all cell phones. I think they're teeth and braces, but I thought I had to fit in everywhere. I had to be everything to everyone. People who have FOMO, like I said earlier, if someone sends an email, I need to respond immediately. If someone sends an Instagram, I need to give a heart immediately. If someone sends a tweet on Twitter, I need to give a heart immediately. If someone says a message on Facebook, I need to give a thumbs up on Facebook immediately. You need to react. You need to constantly be reacting. And the idea is if you constantly react, then when you update your timeline, other people will react to you. That's what a lot of the time, the need to react is actually a desire for reaction. So you feel you need to thumbs up, but actually, if you look at it, it might be you need the thumbs up. Now that's where the problem begins. If it's only you need to give a thumbs up and that's done, you're going to be stress-free. But if you give a thumbs up and you want the other person to respond, you're going to have stress. This is what they're talking about. 70% of the day on my phone. Wow. Yeah, me, Coach Shane, right now, 2021. Yep. Between my PC, my computers, and my phone, I am online at least 70% of the day. I am. I would say it's true. And it might not be that I'm looking, but I'm listening to the radio. I check my email a lot. Yeah, it's true.
𝐉𝐨 Thompson says his is not a case of addiction. Rather, social media has become a part of everyday life. How often would you say you're on that phone throughout the day?
I would say, if I can give you a percentage, it'd probably be about 70% of the day on my phone.
70%? Wow. 𝐉𝐨 Thompson says his is not a case of addiction. Rather, social media has become a part of everyday life. How often would you say you're on that phone throughout the day?
I would say, if I can give you a percentage, it'd probably be about 70% of the day on my phone.
70%? Wow.